Hello everyone, I am starting my first book in this video, and that is Set the Record Straight by Hannah Bonham Young. It is a sapphic holiday novella, so I'm very excited for it. I am also planning on reading Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood, which is on Kindle Limited, and also I believe I can listen to the audiobook as well, which will be amazing. That'll help me read more for this video. And then I want to also read a book called Elf on the Edge, which is a holiday rom-com, and that is a full-length book. So yeah, the two books, I'm definitely going to read the two novellas in this video. This is by Hannah Bonham Young, so I'm sure I will love it because I love her and everything she writes that I've read so far. But she is one of my favourite authors, and I've been craving reading a book by her recently, so I think after Christmas I'm gonna read Out of the Woods, which I'm very excited for. And it's funny because then it actually would be basically a year since that was published, so I need to get my hands on actually reading it, because I literally went and picked it up the day it came out, but I still haven't read it yet, and that's kind of appalling to think of now that I think of it. But yeah, it is bedtime, so I probably won't read that much. I probably won't read that much, but we'll see, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow or whenever I have any thoughts or anything. I'm very excited, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Hello everyone, I thought I would do a little December vlog of Christmas reads, and then kind of just sort of like the end of year things that I'm going to be doing. I also think I might do a little like what I got for Christmas, because I used to love watching them, and I was already thinking I'll show the books I got for Christmas, but I thought, do you know what, I think I'll just show like whatever I get for Christmas. And then I also have a book coming that I'm so incredibly excited for, and so I was like, oh, I should do an unboxing for that. And I think I'm basically just gonna film some fun bits across the month of December. I thought, you know, it'll be fun, it'll be exciting, but before I can start my like Christmas break from uni, I need to finish my assignment. I have had really bad pain days for the last week or so, so I have fallen behind with uni, but all I need to do now is just finish my assignment. I do have a list of things that I want to do in December, a list of things I want to do in my Christmas break, because that's just going to be my time to catch up on things that I haven't been able to do yet. Like, I have a whole video I need to edit that I want to post before the new year. I want to make my vision board. I do want to do a Costco run, so I think if I do that, then there'll be a Costco haul, which will be really fun. And then I do want to do some baking if I can manage it, because I love to bake, but I don't get to bake very often. But as soon as I'm going to be on Christmas break, it will be a good time to do it if I can manage it. I really want to make cheesecake or cookies. I'm not sure which I'll do yet, but I really want cookies, and the only place that I found do good gluten-free cookies that aren't literal rocks is Leon, but there is no Leon around me. There's still Christmas things I need to do, but I need to get my assignment done first. I originally wanted to do like a bookish vlog where I make my TBR jar, I do a book haul of like the books I got for Christmas, sorting out my book bingos both for this year and making my one for 2026, and loads of stuff like that. But the thing is I can't do my TBR jar until I've moved properly and we've unpacked everything, because right now we don't have most of our stuff. We are still moving again, and so I can't make my TBR jar because I don't have what I need to make it. I also wanted to show you guys doing my scrapbook pages for this year, but again, that's something I can't do until I've moved. So hopefully at some point in the first few months of 2026 I'll be able to do a bookish vlog doing those things, because I'm really excited for that, and I did want to have them for the new year, but it is just completely out of our control. So the focus of this is it's gonna be kind of festive, kind of bookish, kind of just like life stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna do my assignment. I'm trying to like bang it out today, and yeah, so it's time to work. Hello everyone, I'm officially on Christmas break, which is awesome because I was so stressed, but I'm glad I had an extension because I was kind of like, am I gonna need it, am I not? I did. So I'm officially on Christmas break, which is great, and something I've been very excited for has arrived. I've been saving this all afternoon and evening, but I wanted to wait until I could film because I wanted my like reaction in the video rather than just showing you guys. So I can't believe I'm holding this right now, and funny story, I made a Pinterest board of the pictures that I wanted to put on my vision board for 2026, and this book is on it, and I haven't even officially made the vision board yet, but now I have it in my hands, so that is amazing. I am so excited. So we will open it. Just realised I wanted my reaction to opening the parcel and seeing the book in person for the first time, and I moved the camera to get a nice shot of opening it. Oh my god. And then I didn't actually include it, but I had a real moment of panic because I was like, what if this isn't like, because it wasn't actually taped like amazingly. I was like, what if this is just something that weighs this in? This is gorgeous. Look at her. I have wanted this since it was announced. Well, since it came out in August, I believe. This was Fairyloot's August book. I'm not a like subscriber to Fairyloot, but this is my first like any sort of book subscription that I've ever bought. And oh my god, she gave me the little like book information card that came with it. This is just gorgeous. This has the details of the redesigned cover, the artwork, the reversible dust jacket, all of that stuff is on this. But this is just gorgeous, and I haven't even opened it yet. Oh my god, it's signed. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, so this is the naked hardback. This is the inside. It is signed. Oh my gosh. I read Letters to the Lost when I first got back into reading when I was sort of like 14, and that was like
a 5-star read for me. It is a book I would reread now, even though it is a YA book. And I feel like I'm kind of aging out of YA. It really depends on, I think, the genre. I'm like a YA fantasy or romantasy gal, but my usual romance is ideally more towards sort of like a new adult. But I read Letters to the Lost. Is one of the books that got me back into reading, but also it is a book that I would love to see adapted. How I'll adapt it myself, as it is like what I want to do for a career. But I also read Call It What You Want and More Than We Can Tell, and I really enjoyed those as well. So I have read this author before, but I've never read any of her fantasy series, because I know A Curse So Dark and Lonely is, I think it was quite like maybe more of like an OG book talk book. This is the back of the book on the inside. This artwork is just gorgeous. I cannot get over it. I'm gonna display this where I can see it first thing in the morning when I wake up, and last thing before I go to sleep at night. A young king and a princess enter a fragile political alliance, each hiding secrets that could tear it apart. An assassin is sent to kill them, but when one of his targets is the woman he loves, his mission becomes a choice between duty and desire. And this is Warrior Princess Assassin, in case I didn't say this already. But I can't believe it. And this, I bought this secondhand off of Vinted. I originally looked on eBay, but I actually found it for, I think, £28, and then shipping and like the £2 that Vinted had. So £30 and 49 pence is how much I paid for it, whereas on eBay it was more like £50. So I bought this with some Christmas money. And oh yeah, this is the Romantasy box. I do think it is an adult, because I think this is this author's first adult book, or adult fantasy, romantasy, whatever. But this is the front, this is the side, and this is the back. I am going to have a romantasy section on my bookshelves when I get them. Of my Powerless series, I have the series in paperback and then the hardback like special editions. I'm gonna have them displayed, and this is gonna be on that shelf with it. So yeah, I hope you guys loved the unboxing, because I know I did. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. It is technically Sunday the 21st of December. Oh my god, Christmas is 4 days away. I can't believe that. But I think I'm going to read this in the new year, probably be soonish. There's a couple videos that I want to film, so it will be whenever I can fit it in between that. It might be just after Christmas, or it might be when I finish my current read. I don't know, but we'll see. But I just can't wait for this. I'm so excited. And like I said, I'm not a big fantasy girl, but I have dabbled a little bit and I've enjoyed that. And there's some other fantasy or romantasy books that I have on my radar that I want to read. There's also a couple that I bought, so it is something that I do want to read more of in 2026, and then hopefully again in future years. I feel like this is going to be up my street. Hello everyone, ignore the fact that my hair is a mess and I look like I've just woken up, because I have just woken up. But I thought I'd give you guys a reading update because I finished another book last night. So the night before last I started Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood, and I actually finished this last night. So I finished it in 2 sittings. It is 72 pages, but the actual story finishes on page 69, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't love this. This is the only thing by Ali Hazelwood that I haven't loved, and I'm very surprised about it. It is a Christmas novella, if you can't tell by the cover. I definitely enjoyed it, but I don't think I would give much thought to it in the future, if that makes sense. So I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. Probably like, I think like a 3 stars. But I also feel like it's kind of hard to rate novellas because obviously they're a lot shorter than normal books. So there's a lot less time for certain things to happen. But I have finished that. That's my second novella, Christmas novella that I've read this year. The first one was Set the Record Straight, and between the two I 100% preferred Set the Record Straight, and that one is a bit longer. I think that was like 160 pages. This one, it wasn't bad, I just didn't enjoy it that much. So far I've read 2 Christmas novellas. It is Christmas Eve today, so happy Christmas Eve. But I don't know whether I want to read another Christmas book or not because it's so close to Christmas. So the other book that I had in mind was Elf on the Edge by Alina Jacobs. I don't know whether I'm going to read it or not, this year at least. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still reading Unmissing by Minka Ken. I'm 30% in, and honestly I'm not loving that either. I think like I'm in the mood for a good romance, and Unmissing is a thriller. As I said, it's Christmas Eve, so there is quite a few things that I need to do today and tomorrow, and one of those things is I need to finish the blanket that I'm crocheting because I'm crocheting it for my nephew for one of his Christmas presents. So I'll show you guys the blanket so far. Now I'm a bit of a slow crocheter because I can't do it for too long or do too much, especially without taking a break, just because it hurts. So yeah, I had to take a big break because I ran out of yarn, and then the shop that I bought the yarn from closed and I couldn't find the same brand of yarn anywhere, so I had to take a break. And it's kind of like screwed me over a little bit because I'm rushing to finish this blanket, which isn't really easy to do. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna crochet and I'm gonna go get some breakfast. And I have taken, so last night I made brown butter for my cookies that I'm gonna make, so I've taken that out the fridge this morning so that it can soften. So I think I'll have breakfast, make the cookies, and then do some more crocheting, and hopefully like it will be more manageable that way because I've still got a bit to go. But I'll show you guys the blanket. So this is the blanket. It's just a continuous granny square. I haven't done anything like special. I'm gonna put on some Christmas episodes or something and just crochet a little bit. And yeah, I kind of crochet in a way that I'm not moving this hand much. It's kind of staying still. I'm moving the blanket rather than this hand because it works better for me. I'm using the Millie's cookies recipe on BBC Good Food. This is the recipe that my mum and I have used for probably at least 10 years. And I made them for Christmas last year and took them to my boyfriend's family for Christmas, and they loved them. And sometimes I just want a cookie. I don't want like a packet of cookies, or you know, to have to make a whole batch of cookies. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna freeze about half the batch that I'm doing today so that in the future I can just get one cookie out and cook it. I need this blanket to be done because it is my nephew's Christmas present, and I already gave him his other Christmas present because I'll insert a picture. I bought these little polar bears, they're Christmas tree ornaments. My sister has had a thing for polar bears her whole life. Like her teddy was 2 different polar bears actually, and yeah, she's always been a polar bear person. And then I saw those, and the first one I saw, like I was actually looking for my nephew's name on there, and I found it and I was like, oh, I have to get him one. And then I was like, oh, I'll look and see if they have my sister's name, and they didn't have her name, but they had a mama bear one. I was like, okay, that is the cutest thing ever. So I got one for my sister, her partner, and the baby, and I gave them to them already, so that obviously if I gave it to them on Christmas, they're not even really gonna use it or see it before they take their tree down. So I was just like, I'll give them early. So technically he's already had one of his Christmas presents. I really want him to be able to open this from me, because I didn't wrap the other ones up. I said, I'm gonna stop yapping, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys probably once I've made the cookies. Okay, I still haven't brushed my hair and I'm still in my dressing gown, but this is the cookie. We are gonna try it, and by we I mean me, but I'm so excited. I like my cookies relatively chewy. I'm very excited. I did milk chocolate chunks, white chocolate chips, and brown butter. Awesome. I'm gonna save the rest for Christmas Day and the days after that. I froze like half of the dough, so I'll have some in the future at some point. Merry Christmas, everyone. So it's 1:15 basically, and I thought I'd give you guys a little Christmas haul, because I've gotten ready, I've done my makeup, I've gotten dressed and everything, and I have a little bit of time before I'm going. I thought I'd just show you guys what I've got for Christmas so far, because I'm very excited, very excited about this stuff. So first things first, and we have got not one, not two, but 3 Soap and Glory things. I love Soap and Glory. Me and my older sister, we have been using Soap and Glory stuff for so long, and it's something that my mum does like to get us for Christmas, because it's something we both love. So she doesn't know yet because she hasn't opened hers yet, but I've got the Calm One Calm All Softening Bubble Bath. I think I could use this as just like a wash, I think. I don't really see why not, but this is just like the classic Soap and Glory sent to me, and I absolutely love. All the sun is shining, so we got one of them. And then this one I've never had before, and that is the Berry and Bright Christmas body wash. I presume it's Christmas because it's called Berry and Bright, so you know, that is very Christmas to me. I literally wanted to shower this morning just so I could use this, because it smells incredibly good. I bought the cherry one the other day, which I have had before, and I loved it. And when I came home, I showed my mum it, and she thought that it was the same as this one, so she was panicking, thinking I just went and bought the one that she got me, but she got me the berry one. So this is blackberry, fragrant peony, and apple blossom. It is so good, so nice. And then I also got the body scrub of these 2, and the cherry one as well, are limited edition ones. This is the body scrub. I tried to smell it, but it has got a seal, and the seal smells so bad, so I presume it's just gonna smell exactly the same as the other one, but I'm not gonna open that yet. And then the next thing I've got is something I'm actually wearing right now. That is my lip balm. So my mum has been using Vive makeup for quite a while now, and she bought me this is like proper YouTube, OG YouTube, but she bought me the Vive Bounce Balm. This is a vanilla scent, I think, or yeah, this is the vanilla scent. Now I have used this 17 lip butter, which is in the shade Deep Honey. It's supposed to be like a black honey rip-off basically. This was like £3 or something crazy. I use this for colour, but I put this Bounce Balm, it's just a lip balm, but you could also use it as a lip mask. I put that on over the top and I absolutely love it. It's got a really nice texture. I love the way it's made my lips feel and the way that they look. Like I said, this is colourless, it doesn't have a colour. It does have a nice shine, but it's not like sticky and horrible, if that makes sense. But I also wanted a bit of colour, so I just put this on underneath. I wear this anytime I do my lips. I'm wearing this, and I usually just put a Revolution lip oil or lip gloss over the top. So I've got a new like one for my rotation and it's really nice. I'm really enjoying it so far. This is the second time I put it on this morning because I put it on when I was opening my presents, and so like I ate and stuff since then, so I've had to redo my lips. But the next few things I am really excited about. So the first thing I've got is this makeup bag from Next. I absolutely love Highland Cows. Even the inside is really cute. I absolutely love Highland Cows, and I feel like this is a really good size makeup bag for me because I don't wear a ton of makeup. I don't wear makeup often either. Obviously I've done myself up today, but I think this would just be like a really good size makeup bag for me. All my other ones are quite big, and so they're usually kind of like half empty, whereas this one I think would be a great size. I'm also going to go shopping at some point like after Christmas to get some new makeup bits because I need some new stuff. So that will go in there, and that's awesome. I have so much cow stuff and Highland Cow stuff. I even have a giant Highland cow. So like when I move, it's all gonna be out. It's all gonna be nicely decorated. I'm gonna have cows everywhere. And yeah, so my mum saw this and she like walked away and then had to go back for it because she was like, no, like I need to get it. And the next thing I've got is these mini page markers. I call them bookmarks, but they does say mini marks, page markers. They're magnetic ones and they're just gorgeous. They had these as bees. They might have even had butterflies as well. I can't remember exactly, but they're just gorgeous. So cute. I think I'm gonna use this bottom one first because it's kind of Christmassy. And then we have my book haul, which I'm so excited for, and I know I have more books, but I have a bit of time to film now, so I thought I'm just going to film this now, and then whenever I can film the rest of my stuff, then I will. It really doesn't matter. But the first book we've got is The Inheritance Games. I have been wanting to read this for a little while. At first I was kind of like, I don't know if it's my thing, but now I'm like, no, I think actually I would like it. It's just not my general comfort zone, but I've been wanting to read out of my comfort zone a little bit more. So The Inheritance Games. And then next is a book that has been on my list for probably as long as I have kind of been making videos, and that is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I'm very excited for this. It is a very anticipated read for me. Yeah, I'd never gotten around to it, and I'm making 2026 the year that I read this book because it's been on my TBR for too long. And now I own it, so we're one step closer to reading it. And the next book is the one that I'm probably the most excited for. It's been on my TBR for probably about a year now. I read the first page of this when I unwrapped it. And I was like, no, this is going to have to be the next book that I read. And that is Bear Town by Frederick Bachman. I cannot express how excited I am to read this book. I started Mile High a couple days ago. I have literally read like maybe 20 pages just because I haven't really had time to read, and then when I did have time to read I fell asleep reading. But I was getting really intrigued with that, so I'm kind of thinking, do I want to read this or do I want to go in between Mile High and Bear Town and just mood read what I'm feeling? I'm super excited, very happy, and yeah, and that is all for my haul. I am gonna go. everyone, so I thought I would show you guys the rest of what I got for Christmas, and then I will also show you guys I've gone shopping and picked up a couple bits, and then I also wanted to show you guys my completed 2025 book bingo. Well, my updated 2025 book bingo. I've made my 2026 book bingo, which you would have seen, you would have seen it already, but I'm going to talk you through it. And then I also want to show you guys the monthly planner that I bought, and yeah, just a few other bits. So first things first is I got some more books. I did mention in previous clips that I know I had more books. I hadn't received them yet, but I knew I was getting them. So the first book is Spiral. I'm really excited for this. This is the second book in the Off the Ice series. As you can see, Collide on the front, that's the first book. I read that this year and I did enjoy it, but I do think that some other books in this series are gonna be more my style. This is Fake Dating, which is awesome, but I'll read out the blurb. It says, Elias Westbrook, a newly drafted hockey player for the Toronto Thunder, is facing the challenges of fame and media scrutiny. The tabloids are reporting his every move, including which woman he was last seen with, but all he wants to do is escape the spotlight. Enter from stage left Sage Beaumont, an aspiring ballerina whose lack of popularity online has put her at a major disadvantage for securing the role she dreams of. When Sage finds herself with the chance to change her luck by fake dating Elias, she takes her shot. Soon enough, the flimsy rules they set in place fall away, but before things can spiral out of control, Sage and Elias will have to decide if they're willing to take the leap together or if they have to call it quits. I'm very excited for this. Hannah Bonham Young also has like a little blurb on the back, and then she has one on the front. Is it the same? Yeah, it is. This is like a shorter version of it. I'm very excited for this one because she's a ballerina too, because it obviously must be some sort of sports romance, and then fake dating as well. So I'm very, 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 very excited for this. The next one is Revolve. Again, this is in the Off the Ice series, and she's literally giving Rapunzel. Look at the dress. Literally Rapunzel. I'm very excited for this one. So, Sierra Romanova was an Olympic figure skater before a life-altering accident left her with panic attacks every time she entered the rink. Now back for her final year at Dalton University, she's ready to reclaim the spotlight. Kicked off his hockey team for reckless behaviour, Dylan Donovan has little to no chance of making it to the National Hockey League draft. But Dylan's whole world revolves around the ice, so if hockey is forbidden, at least there's figure skating. When Sierra finds herself in desperate need of a new partner, the only person who can match her skill is the cocky hockey player who refuses to cut her any slack. On the ice, their electricity is electric, but can they stand the heat off the rink? So yeah, I'm very excited for this one. This cover is my favourite in the whole series so far. The colour scheme, the dress, like just all of it. Love it. I'm gonna have a very hard time choosing what books I read when, because I'm just so excited for every book that I have received for Christmas. And then the last book is not in my book, and this is I think Workplace Rivals. I'll read out the blurb. Rosie Maxwell has always dreamed of becoming a best-selling romance writer, but that plan is derailed when she ends up in a writing workshop with her arch nemesis, Aidan Huntington, an obnoxious, unreasonably gorgeous literary fiction writer who has no patience for romance or for Rosie. Exhausted by Rosie and Aidan's constant verbal sparring, their professor gives them an ultimatum: leave her class or co-write a novel that blends their respective genres. As Rosie and Aidan collaborate on their accidentally steamy book, they try to put their differences aside. Could their manuscript in progress be the perfect outlet to explore their mutual attraction? But a potentially career-changing opportunity soon reignites their old rivalry. Rosie and Aidan's once-in-a-lifetime story is once again at risk of being shelved, unless they can find a way to end the book on their own terms. If I was reading that a bit weird, it's just because I'm a bit out of breath. There is an excerpt from the book that these two characters write in this book, and it says, people say there's a thin line between love and hate, but with Hunter it was oceans wide. So that's cute. I feel like that gives a little insight into what their book that they write is about. Next up, I bought some colouring books. I love colouring a lot. It is very good for relaxation and my mental health, and it's also great just like to listen to an audiobook or, you know, watch YouTube, whatever it is. So I have 3 colouring books here. So I have wanted 2 of these since they were announced, and I'm very, very happy to have them in my hands. So the first one is the Coco Wyo, which is one of my favourite like colouring book businesses, because it is like a singular person, I think, who designs them, and this one is published by Penguin Random House. But I got the Cozy Days Cute and Comfy colouring book. I already have 2 of these. One is one with people, one is like animals, like this one, and I'm very excited for this. And so far I've just done the like first page, so yeah, I'm very excited for that. I don't tend to do like tons of colouring in one go. I kind of keep going till I need to take a rest from colouring and then go back to it whenever, but I definitely go through phases where I do more colouring than other times. And then the next 2 I'm so excited about, because when I was younger, me and my siblings collected Sylvanian families, also known as calico critters, and I have been in a bit of a like recollecting them. So I still have all of our families that we collected. They are in the storage unit, haven't seen them for a long time, but I kept them, one because there was so many, we spent so much time, so many birthdays and Christmases collecting them, that it felt wrong to just get rid of them. And then also because I knew like how much we loved playing with them when we were younger, I thought, you know, I want to keep them for at least my kids, and then, you know, now I have a nephew, obviously at some point it would be nice if he wanted to play with them and stuff like that. So I've kept them for like mine and my siblings' kids, and I have been collecting the blind bags, so I'll insert pictures. I've been back in my Sylvanian kick, and then these got announced, so I was like, okay, this I'm gonna have to get. So the first one is the Cozy Friends Cute and Comfy colouring. It is like an official Sylvanian Families thing, I'm pretty sure, because it has the logo on it. So yeah, I had a quick flick through these in the shop. In TG Jones, aka WH Smith, but they've renamed it, they are currently, a lot of their colouring books, of like this style colouring books, are on buy one get one half price, which is why I got 2, because I went looking for one because I have Christmas money, so I was like, okay, I'll get one as soon as I've already gotten, oh, I can't wait to do this one at Halloween. This will be so nice. That is literally like 9 months away, but you know, 10 months. 10 months away. I was only going to get one, but because they had it on buy one get one half price, I was like, I might as well get both of them because I knew I wanted both of them. The other one I got is the Cozy Adventures one. So these are going to last me a long time. Those are the current books I got, which I'm very happy with. And then also in WH Smith, I picked up a new journal because I need a new journal. I love bees, I love flowers, so this is literally just like my perfect journal. And then the last thing, I did get a few other things for Christmas, but my older sister accidentally took home my Christmas bag when we were leaving my grandparents, so I haven't actually got that stuff back yet, but once I move it will be displayed anyway. So yeah, I got this from Owen. I just thought the label was so cute. Whenever we play Mario, I'm most of the time Luigi, so he used his Mario stickers, always used the Luigi ones for me, and he got me, this is so cute, it is the Pascal charm. When we went away with Owen's family, I got a Pascal charm, which I always have on my bag, like a pin. So this is now gonna match. It is so cute and it's so tiny, it makes it even cuter. I used to love watching people doing their what I got for Christmas videos, which is why I wanted to do this. It's just so much fun. And then the next few things, I've been so excited, waiting kind of impatiently for them since they're announced, and that is my Powerless pops. I'm so excited. These are going to be like the one pops that I keep them in the boxes, because I've only started doing that with the last few pops that I've received. But one, they have like special boxes. It's got the print of the first cover on them along the top and the side, and that cover is one of my favourite book covers. So yeah, this is Kai. And this is Payden. And I'm going to put these, I'm going to have a bookshelf for my romantasy books, because they're the ones I have special editions for, and they're the ones I want to display the most. So it will be all of my Powerless series, the Powerless Pops, and then my Warrior Princess Assassin book that I unboxed in the beginning of this video. And then I think I'm going to put my Moon Jellycat, which Owen also got me for our anniversary. I think I'm going to put this on my romantasy shelf, because I just think it would look really cute there. And then something else that I will probably put on the shelves is this, which Owen also got me, which is just like a Lego rose. It's not a Lego one, I can't remember what the company was called, but we just found these in like a local toy shop and it was so cute. So I built this the other day. It's called like an everlasting rose. I think it's meant to be like the one from Beauty and the Beast, but yeah, I just thought that was really cute. This should go on my one of my romance bookshelves. I might not put it on a bookshelf, it really just depends like what other surface area space I have. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys my book bingos and my planner, and then I will end this clip. I got this A3 planner, which has, God, I feel like I'm a teacher giving a presentation. It's got top priorities, to do, and then notes, and then just a nice big section to write all your plans, deadlines, appointments, all of that in. And this is from Clear Mind Concepts. I bought it on Etsy. I need like physical reminders of things, otherwise I do forget, I do lose track of things, and I need to be able to see it often. So I'm gonna hang this up. There's a door in front of my bed, and I think I'm gonna like just pop it up there so that I can see. This is my 2025 book bingo. As you can see, there is a slight difference. So the pink ones are the ones I've completed. I do have various just empty boxes, which I was kind of just waiting to see what I would fill out throughout the year. And then I didn't really think about it. And then because I didn't have it displayed for probably about 6 or 7 months of 2025, I didn't really have like that reminder. So I had 3 empty spaces and then 5 boxes that I did not complete. Now Bear Town is on here, but it is empty. I'm currently reading it right now, but I'm not going to finish it by the end of the year. So I am going to leave it blank. I will read out the ones that I did complete now. So read 10 books. So far I've read 46. So we did accomplish that. Read 10 books, and then a book by Hannah Bonham Young. I read People Watching and Next of Kin. Read 5 new authors. We are going to have to get my phone up. So the goal was 5 new authors. I'm going to read it in order of the beginning of the year to now. And this is not including non-fiction books, which I do read, but I read a lot less of non-fiction compared to fiction. So the first one is Stephanie Archer. I read Behind the Net. So I'm also not including any books that I read for uni because I didn't choose to read them. And then I read The Family by Marissa Kennison, Crossroads by Devney Perry, No Tomorrow by Carrion Cole. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce. And then next I read The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to say that either, I'm afraid. So that's already 5. Then I read Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, Love Mum by Ileana Zander, A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, Collide by Bao Cabra, If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia, Nightshade, so that's 10 now, Nightshade by Autumn Woods, All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. That's 12 new authors that I've read this year. That is really good. I'm really proud of that because I wanted to branch out a little bit and read books by authors that I don't read often. And then the next one was Bear Town, but obviously I already explained that. Then we have The Inheritance Games, and I kind of just didn't get around to buying it. And then I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna ask for it for Christmas. Continue 3 series, I have checked that off, so let's take a look and see what series I've continued. So One of Us is Next. That was the first book that I read this year. That's another book in a series. And then we've got Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. That's the second book in the Rose Hill series. Then I read Sidetracked, Scarlet Angel, All the Lies and Paint It All Red, which are books 2 to 5 in the Mind F series by St. Abbey, so that's 4. Fearless by Lauren Roberts, that's the 3rd book in the Powerless trilogy. Next of Kin, which is the 2nd book in the next series. Then we have Powerless by Elsie Silver, that is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Springs series. I'm going to deduct 1 because I was about to count Wildcard again, and then I realised that I didn't count each individual book for the series that I continued. I'm just counting like if I've continued that series or not this year. So I'm going to deduct 1 because I counted Wild Side as well as Wild Eyes. I'm just going to do Wild Eyes. So we're on 6. I read Mate by Ellie Hazelwood, which is the 2nd book to Bride. So that's 7 series that I've continued this year, which is pretty good. Then the next one was Read 20 books. Obviously, like I said, I've read 46 books, so that's Gucci. The next one is a book by Ali Hazelwood. Off the top of my head, I've read Cruel Winter with You, which obviously I spoke about earlier on this year, in this video, and then Mate. And then the next one is Collide, which I read. The next one is Read 30 books. The next one is 5 non-fiction. Interesting. I have got a non-fiction book on the go at the moment, but I haven't finished it, so I'm not going to count it. But non-fiction, so I read Infinite Receiving by Susie Ashworth, The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. This one was very, very anticipated for me. And then Aligned Abundance by Emma Mumford, one of my top non-fiction books of the year actually. And then we read Conquer Your Morning by Samaya R. The Alignment Frequency. It just says by Booked Publishing, so that's 5. Yeah, so I have read 5 non-fiction books. And then the next one was Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I have not read that, so that is unmarked. And then the next one is 5 of the Physical TBR. So again, let's go through and count which one. So One of Us is Next, Behind the Net, Deep End, Daisy Jones and the Six, Next of Kin, that's 5 exactly. The next one is one by Abby Jimenez. I am very, very sad to admit that I have not read any by Abby Jimenez this year. I was hoping this year would be the year, and the book that I'm most excited to read by her is Just for the Summer, which I do have, but I don't have the other 2 in the series, and I do want to read that series in order. So unfortunately, this one remains unmarked. Next up we have Powerless or Wild Side. I actually read both of them, so yeah, awesome. The next one is one by Holly Jackson. I read The Reappearance of Rachel Price and Not Quite Dead Yet by her, and they were 2 of my favourite reads this year. And then the next one is 10 off the physical TBR. I did not check that one off. I barely checked off 5. So yeah, that is my 2025 book bingo. Done. And then I'm going to very quickly talk you guys through my 2026 book bingo. So I've unintentionally made this one smaller because I've put it into 4 boxes along rather than 5. And I was thinking, wow, I've managed to fill this one up completely. How did I not do that with the other one? But I just realised it's because there is 4 boxes along and 4 down rather than 5 along and 4 down. So this is 2026 book bingo, and we'll start off. So number 1, Beartown. We'll have that done in hopefully a week or so. Next one is 15 books off of my physical TBR. I have so many books on my physical TBR, and I am not going to be buying any books until my birthday, most likely, which is at the end of April. So yeah, hopefully I will have read a lot of my physical books that I have. Hopefully most of the ones I bought for Christmas, if not all of them. I'm allowed to buy books on my Kindle, which I only tend to do if they're on offer, and then I can still use my Kindle Unlimited subscription. When I've moved and unpacked everything, I'm going to make a video going through my entire physical TBR, which I anticipate is going to take a while because I have a lot of books and I have a lot of unread books. I cannot wait to film it, and I cannot wait to organise my bookshelves, which I will also be filming. So yeah, I will have a lot more books, like physical copies, that I can read once I've moved, because the majority of them are in the storage unit and I can't get to them myself. Right now I have probably about 15 books on my physical TBR that are with me and that I can read. So if I read all of them this year, that alone will tick that off. And then the next thing I've got is one historical fiction. I'm very excited for this. I've bought Divine Rivals, which is historical romantasy, I think. And then I've also got Anatomy, which is a book that I've been wanting to read for ages. So that alone is 2 books that I really do want to read this year, but I definitely at least want to read one of them. When I was younger, historical fiction like Hetty Feather, a lot of stuff by Jacqueline Wilson were my favourite books to read. So I think it would be really nice to read some historical fiction as an adult. I've also been contemplating dabbling in some Kristen Hanna books, but I know that they are very emotional. But I also think that everyone I've seen talk about any of her books have given it 5 stars. I also kind of want to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue or Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which I believe are both either historical fantasy or historical fiction or like a mixture. I want to read them as well. I don't know whether I will read that this year. The next one we have is a woman love and woman romance. The first one that comes to mind is Delilah Green Doesn't Care. It's been a long time since I've read a romance with a same-sex couple, other than Set the Record Straight, but that was a holiday novella. I do want to read like a full-length book. So yeah, the next one I have is Continue 5 series. I've got about probably 15 to choose from. I'm just going to take my pick of it throughout the year. The next one is a book with vampires. I've got various choices for this. I've really got into like the Vampire Diaries. I'm currently watching the originals and stuff like that, a bit more like supernatural TV shows. I would really like to read the Vampire Diaries. There's also, I think, a couple books on my TBR which have vampires in. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think A Discovery of Witches has vampires in as well. I may be confused, but one of my friends recommended that to me and I'm very excited to read it, but also very intimidated. And then the next book I have is Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I've had this literally since publication day, which was January of this year. So I've had it for almost a year and I haven't read it yet. And I love Hannah Bonham Young. She's one of my favourite authors ever. And I met her and she was just like so sweet and funny. So I need to read Out of the Woods. It was also like the second book to Out on a Limb, which is one of my favourite books ever. And we follow a couple characters that we meet and see in that. So I'm excited to read it. I just need to make it a priority. The next one is a book that's been adapted. So A Discovery of Witches has been adapted. I kind of want to read Virgin River. I don't remember if that's what the book is called, but there's a TV show on Netflix called Virgin River, which is based on a book. And then obviously you've got like the Vampire Diaries, like there is at least a handful of books that I would like to read that have been adapted for either film or TV. The next one we have is a second chance romance. I think second chance romance might actually be one of my top like 5 tropes, so I'm very excited. I have no idea what book yet. I'm gonna have a look into it. And the next one is 3 romantic fantasies. For me, off the top of my head, I've got Warrior Princess Assassin. Obviously I have not stopped talking about it in this book, in this video. And then we've got Dance of Lies, I believe is a romantasy. And then there is one other, I can't remember what it is, but I need to stop yapping. The next is a soft DNF. I think for me, I'm leaning towards reading Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I think that's my only soft DNF. And then next we have 5 books off my Kindle TBR. I have probably about 150 books on my Kindle TBR, so, you know, I'm not short of any Kindle reads. I tend to pretty much read the majority Kindle Unlimited books on my Kindle, so I think what I'll do is at some point I'll pause my KU subscription and read books just on my Kindle that I have either bought or received. I think I might do like a reading vlog of only reading books on my Kindle. But I think the thing is a lot of them are ones I've just never really heard of, so I don't, like, they're not at the front of my mind when it comes to what I'm going to read next. The next is a book that's been on my TBR for 2+ years. There is tons of these that I could read. I think, again, this will be like, I'm going to do a reading vlog for this, but that is one that I will have the most choice to do once I've moved and have all my books back. And then the next one is a book by one of my favourite authors. The next one is 5 new authors. And then the final one is a book out of my comfort zone. I think there's quite a few books that I have in mind that could also be used for this. So yeah, that is my book bingo. I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought I would just bring you guys along for some December fun. I think I want to do this sort of video again next year in December because it's just been fun doing sort of like my end of year things, obviously what I got for Christmas. So yeah, I was originally just going to call this like a December vlog, but I think I want to do sort of like a December diaries, because at first I was like, no, I can't do that because there's only going to be one. But then I was like, well, actually that's not necessarily true because they can just accumulate over the years. And I'll probably do this again next year because it's been really fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the kind of Christmassy, kind of just end of year stuff. And I will see you guys in the new year.